Good morning, friends. First of all, let me wish all of you a very happy Gandhi Jayanti, and I congratulate Skill Map for organizing such a wonderful attempt and an event. So, friends, we have all entered into a knowledge economy now. We all know, and on top of it, it is a digital economy, and I have always been saying that when the lockdown started in March and April, that from then onwards to all the business community and everyone that in this period of lockdown, if you have used your time to gain knowledge and to connect yourself digitally, then doesn't matter what business you are in, you will do very well. And so my thought process is like this, that I have been telling business community and startups and everyone that 3 months from the time when this COVID situation completely normalizes will again be a challenge, because this is something unprecedented ever happened in the world, right? And but those who have gained knowledge and those who have connected their businesses digitally will do very well. Okay. Then nine months from then on will be a stabilizing period, and then next 5 years will be an amazing period. It is a saying that greater the difficulty, larger the opportunity. So opportunity is huge. I will explain some of the opportunities as I discuss. And friends, it doesn't matter what you do, whether you are in manufacturing, you have a factory, you are in trading, you are in service sector, you are doing a job somewhere, you are a student. It doesn't matter what you do. The philosophy of competitiveness on which I work is applicable to you. It is all about competitiveness. My definition of competitiveness is like this: efficiently create goods and services that meet global market demand, leading to rising living standard for everybody in the society, and which is sustainable into the future. So there are 4 components of definition of competitiveness. Let's take the first one: efficiently create goods and services. This means related to technology. If I was a manufacturer, then I would have, in this lockdown period, I would have gone to the YouTube and I would have just searched who are all the companies of my type and what type of machinery technology they use by the manufacturers of the machinery. And I would have seen that, okay, so much technology development has taken place, and where am I and what should I do about it? That is the first starting point. That's why I say it's a knowledge economy and a digital economy. Then raw material mix which we use, processes which we do, what innovation can I do? Can I do something different than others? Second is that meet global market demand. Please understand one thing, everybody: there is no product or service in India which cannot be exported. And I have been giving examples of goat dung being exported to US. There is a company which is exporting rotten potatoes to Saudi Arabia. So there is no product which cannot be exported. So what happens when you start exporting? A lot of people tell me, why to promote export when India is such a big market? Okay, why to promote export? Because when you start exporting, you learn the best practices of your business in the world, and it changes the way you do business in India itself. Number one. Number two, see, exports is the benchmark of competitiveness. Why? Because when you start exporting, you are not only competing with companies within the country, but with global companies around the world. That makes you competitive. So it's an indication of competitiveness. Third, so in order to do this international business, in the lockdown period, what you should have done or could do even now is go to the websites. Identify one company which you feel in your business or area is the number one in India that you determine, and go and check their website. Why do people make website? First of all, it's a tool of PR and it's a tool of sales. So everything about the company strategy is in the website, and see what are they doing which you are not doing in the website, and try to incorporate that. And when you do exports, it increases profit also. Then e-commerce is also a means of export, because through e-commerce you can have a warehousing abroad and you can do delivery to the home. These are the first two is economics. Next two is social, high and rising living standard for everybody in the society. If I am in business and my profit is growing and I am growing, that is not good enough. Okay, everybody in the society should grow. And that is why if you take example, if you take Facebook or Google or Amazon or all of these Microsoft and Apple, all these American companies which we all know of, they all started from a room. We have seen Jeff Bezos sitting in a room and working. It means none of them had access to capital. Some of these companies started in the college itself. So how they grew? They gave equity of the company to smart people. Many small medium enterprise tell me that people don't work with us, people leave us for larger companies. Why don't you, if you find someone smart boy or girl whom you think this person should work for me for 20 years, give them a 2% equity in your company. See, Narayan Murthy did the same thing. He also didn't have capital. He had to put his wife's jewelry on loan to buy the 5 computers. He gave equity to people whom he thought should work for them for long, Nandan Nilankani and so many others. And you see where the company is today. Why we cannot do? When he did it, he was small. So equity is something we don't have in Indian culture. So we should start doing that. Even a 2% equity is good enough. The Facebook, who has a 2% equity, is a billionaire today, right? Second aspect of higher living rising standard is higher fresh graduates. See, now because of COVID, people are not getting jobs. Higher fresh graduates, they are digitally connected, but the tragedy is that they do not have any skill. Okay, the skill is missing because we are not teaching the skills in colleges. It is a failure of our education system. The new education policy is trying to address it, but it will take a long time to implement and see the results. So they don't have skills, you have the skill. But take their interview digitally. Now they can be from anywhere. Earlier, I'm based in Ahmedabad. I run 5-6 companies. And I used to hire people only from Ahmedabad because I used to work from office. But ever since lockdown, I'm working from home. All my staff also working from home, even in Ahmedabad. So I have started hiring people from all over India. Because in any case, they will work from home. And we have a daily reporting system in the evening where everyone reports. So productivity has actually gone up. And I'm almost on the verge of deciding that even after COVID goes away, I'm not going to start the office. I'm going to work like this only because it is helping the environment. It is making my family also happy. But finally, everything is about happiness, right? So hire young, fresh graduates. They do not have skill. Train them, give them skill by your experience. You have the skill. You know your business. You know the market. Train them on skills and they will do wonderful work for you. Now it's a database marketing. So let them work on database and you add your experience and convert it to business. Okay, I call it triple helix of competitiveness. Government, academia, and industry working smoothly with each other. Last is sustainable into the future. Friends, doesn't matter what you do now. Whatever you are doing, continue to do. Start one new eco-friendly business. That will last for 20 years. That's the future. Okay, and it will take 1,000 days to grow, but start it. And connect as much knowledge to your business. Now it is no more product economy. It is knowledge economy. It doesn't matter whatever you do, you attach knowledge, your business will grow. And digital. These 3 things make it sustainable. Okay. To me, now, how I define change, everybody is talking of change. I define change like this, that the only permanent. Let me tell you the philosophy, what I like about American philosophy, and that is why perhaps American economy is #1 in innovation, is the philosophy is it is okay to fail, but fail early and fail small. Okay, the bedrock, the foundation of innovation is failure. Okay, I did a mentor on road tour. Let me explain what I do. So I run 6 companies. Okay. And in 2 are only for profit, others are not for profit. So one company where we do international trade advisory in global network, we connect companies to global markets all over the world. Then second is Cluster Pulse, where we do economic development work, not for profit. We have clients like World Bank, UNIDO, and all of these. Then we have a company where Global Network Institute, where we give training for last 23 years. More than 4,000 business people have attended, where we train them for 8 days on how to find buyers in international market and how to get an order. Then we have a company called Mentor on Road, which I wanted to actually explain while giving this example, where I drive around the world for last 15 years as a hobby, and I mentor young startups and women-owned businesses. And then we have a company called Smart Village, where we do we convert villages into smart village in 1,000 days. Now, friends, when I was doing this Mentor on Road tour in US in 2017, I drove to, almost, I think, 20,000 kilometers, 35 cities, 35 states, from Boston to Tampa, San Diego to Seattle, and Seattle to New York. And I was meeting him. I met one person who said that I only invest in a company which has failed once. That is his criteria. I asked why. He said, because anybody who has failed once will certainly know what not to do. Right? See, amazing way of looking at failure. Another aspect I want to tell to a lot of youngsters is that, look, as far as the career opportunity goes, now you have three options. Okay, one, either you take up a job. Second, you start your own business, or third, go for higher education. Let me address one by one. If you want to take up a job, last year 1.5 crore, 15 million young Indians joined the job market. Hardly, I think 5-6 million must have got the job. What are the others doing? So this year it will be 16 million. Okay, we are not going to create as many jobs as many people wanted. Start some self-employment business. Okay, why? Because now the banking system has become very favorable. Okay, earlier I used to go to a bank and bank manager would refuse to me. Nobody in the ecosystem would know that this happened to me. Now there is an online banking. I even a loan application up to 2 crore rupees without collateral security, I can apply online from my house. And the bank will have to give reason online why they are not giving me. When the government of India is giving an insurance support to the banks, that if I don't repay, it is insurance covered by the government. So finance is not a problem. Start some small business. That is the answer. And third, if you want to do further studies, particularly those who graduate, my very strong recommendation to you is, first you do 2 years of work experience. It doesn't matter what you do. Okay? It doesn't matter what salary you get. Don't look after salary. This is still a training period for you, because in 3 years or 4 years of graduation, you will learn nothing. Not your fault. Our education system has taught you nothing which is relevant to industry, because it is just a junk education. So 2 years you work somewhere, gain experience, then you do masters. Then the way you learn in masters will be different. See, in US, many of these top Ivy League colleges, they don't even accept a student in masters who has not got experience. It should be understood why they do that. So this is my suggestion. Now, I want to talk about 10 innovative approaches to survive or grow your business. Okay, 10 innovative. Number 1, corporate culture. Okay, define your personality. Define your company's personality. See, understand one thing. Your company's personality is your personality. If you are a knowledge-driven person, if you are digitally connected, your company will be knowledge-driven company and digitally connected. Earlier, there used to be a time when people used to say Saraswati and Lakshmi cannot stay together. Right? The goddess of money and the goddess of education cannot stay together. No more. IT is an example. IT has proven how education and money stay together. And I always use this statement that Saraswati baantne se Lakshmi badhti hai. If we spread knowledge, then wealth will increase. So this type of forum which SkillMap has created is a very good example of doing that. Second is strategic planning. Okay, grow with discipline. Grow with discipline. We're not market share. Don't run after market share. I always say when you start a company, it takes 1,000 days to really take it to a level where it will run for next 25-30 years. So be patient. Cost control. Lower the cost, lower the price. Okay, so there are many ways to do cost control without compromising on quality. Fourth is innovation. This is very amazing definition, which I follow. Do one thing better than anyone else. See, understand one thing, whatever you are doing right now, there are 2,000, 5,000 people in India doing the same thing. So you are part of the crowd. If there is no differentiator in your business, nothing differentiates you from others, you will have to do business on price and you will not make much profit. What is the fun of doing that business? Do one thing better than anyone else. What is that one thing? I don't know. If I knew, I would be doing. So it is a creative process of an entrepreneur. So you have to find out what is that one thing. Fifth is customer service. Customer comes second, service comes first. Try to understand the difference. Okay, I always give example of warehousing, that if you want to export, either you wait for an order to come or you hire a small warehouse which is very, very low cost for just one container, hardly $350 a month rent. Stock, you send your goods and make available the goods nearer to the market. What is the benefit? Next day delivery. Quality, they will come and see and buy. No question of quality issue. Third, the payment rotation is faster. You can open a bank account in any country. It's called one-way bank account. No permissions required. This is called service. Service comes first. Customer comes second. If you give service, customer will come. In US, there is a philosophy: if you build it, they will come. Right? So in exports, I say if you stock it, they will come. Okay, so you can experiment that. Then sixth is hiring. Very interesting. And my philosophy, as I told earlier, is hire for attitude and train for skills. Very simple. When you are interviewing some youngster, boy or girl, just see how is their attitude, what is their family background, what is their education, how are they replying. If you are a smart entrepreneur, you will be able to understand the person has a positive attitude or not. If the person has, hire them and start them with a low salary because they don't have any skills, but transfer the skills. But if just after a month, when you have transferred the skill, increase the salary. Otherwise, they will leave you because now they have the skills. So what if you give them, right? So that is the model to work, but hire them and train them for skills. Okay. And over a period of 1 year, if you feel this is the person you want, you want that person to work for 20 years, give them equity in your company. Seventh, training. Get all thinking like they own the place. Okay. See, there is a lack of sense of ownership in people who are working with us in the company because they feel it is my company. What they have got to do? They are doing a job. They will get a salary. No. So training gives them a sense of ownership. Then eighth, employee morale. Celebrate everything and embrace mistake. Celebrate everything. Any small success also, 5, 6 people, 10 people come together, get a 10 rupee tea cake, cut, enjoy, have a good time. Put a photograph of the achiever in the office. Small things. And embrace mistake. Everybody makes mistake. You also make mistake, right? So, but embrace mistake. The philosophy in my company is it is okay to make mistake, but never repeat the same mistake, right? So that is something, because mistake is also another foundation of innovation. Then marketing and advertisement. So the philosophy I follow is break the routine rule of sales and sell. Don't live in a silo. Whenever somebody tells me that in my industry this has never been done like this, I say that is the reason to do, because that is innovation. So break the routine rule of sales and sell. And leadership, delegate authority. This is my last point. We are not delegating authority in small medium enterprise to the juniors, and that is why we do not have time. We end up doing all the operational work, right, which we are not supposed to do. We have hired people for that and we do their work. Then why you are paying them salary, right? Why you have hired them? You only do. So get away from operations, delegate authority. People say if I delegate authority they will be cheating. You put MIS systems, no, management information systems, you put IT. If I'm working in your company, if I know that if there is an IT system and if I do some cheating, I will be caught, I will not do that. So there has to be a preventive system which will help this. So friends, just I would like to conclude by saying I am an expert in international business. So if you want to export, there are 8 approaches which we teach in our course. We actually run an 8-day course on international trade, which is very, very popular. Now we are doing it digitally and students are coming from all over the world. Every month we have this batch. It is so popular. Here we teach 8 approaches. One is called SPANCO, which is suspect, prospect, approach, negotiate, close, and order. How to identify a country, how to identify a buyer, how to approach them, how to negotiate, how to close a deal, and how to get an order. Then there is another approach of entering global market. It is called strategic institutional sales. Okay, very few people know that American government is buying $3 to $4 trillion of goods every year. See, understand, American economy is the largest in the world, $22 trillion. China is 14 trillion. India is 3 trillion. Our Prime Minister has given a goal to take Indian economy to 5 trillion by 2024. We are right now 3 trillion. American government buys 3 trillion of goods every year through tender from globally. So we can do that business. We have to be registered with them. United Nations buys $500 billion of goods, again from all over the world. We have to register with them. Then warehouse abroad is the third model which I was explaining. Then e-commerce is the fourth model There are so many products of India which American and European companies are selling online. So there, like the gems and jewelry from India, the doormats from LAP Kerala, you'll be surprised. There is a company in US who buys these doormats at 250 rupees from LAP Kerala and sells at 2,800 rupees, or sales is 6.5 crore rupees. Imagine. So e-commerce is something we should all do, whatever business we are in. Then agent network, by appointing an agent abroad also you can get into international market. Then virtual expo is very interesting. Earlier, so many exhibitions used to take place. We ourselves used to organize Vibrant Tamil Nadu, Vibrant Goa, Vibrant Gujarat, Vibrant Kutch, so many. Now it's not going to happen. So we have also migrated to a virtual expo. You participate in virtual expo. You take a booth in virtual expo. Earlier for physical expo, you have to book a booth, pay so much money, 1-2 lakh rupees, then go fly, then stay in a hotel, decorate your booth, 10 lakh rupees, 5 lakh rupees. Now no more. Digital booth, all digital marketing material you have to create. And first party go as a visitor, then take a booth. Hardly 25-50,000 rupees will be the cost. And you will certainly get business. This is another way of entering global market. Then joint venture and technology transfer with foreign companies. So friends, what I'm trying to say is, if you look at the definition of competitiveness, which I mentioned, you have to follow that in your business. If you implement that, the 4 components efficiently create goods and services that meet global market demand, leading to rising living standard for everybody in the society, and which is sustainable into the future. Don't worry about COVID. Don't worry about recession. Don't worry about market. Don't worry about finance. All this has a solution. But if you are not competitive, even if there was no COVID, you would not have done well. So COVID is not a reason, right? So follow the model of competitiveness, and don't worry, India itself is a 135 crore people market. We have 60 crore smartphone users in India. We have 37 crores middle class population, which is more than American total population. We are the youngest nation in the world. 29 years is the average age of India. 65% population of India is below 35 years of age. They are consumers. They are your buyers of your business, product or service. 50% population is below 25 years. Imagine the program like Smart Village, Smart City, 80 new ports being developed. I mean, a lot of development work happening. It will all ultimately trickle down to each of us. But are we prepared for it? Do we have a website? Are we on the LinkedIn? Do we have a LinkedIn professional profile where people search for people like you and me? So these are the questions we have to answer, whether internally we are prepared or not. Why are we talking of external factors which are not in our control? External factors are not in our control. Internal factors are in our control. Are we doing something about internal factors? Are we trying to improve it? Or we are keep blaming the external factors? This is the question we all have to ask ourselves. Once again, I congratulate Skill Map for organizing this wonderful event on a very auspicious day of 2nd October. Gandhiji is a Yug Purush, and he was a visionary. Even today, everything of his philosophy is applicable, and we need to follow on his path. So all the best. Desh Pratham, Vande Bharat. Thank you very much.